Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I am a fraud. It's finally time that I admit it. It's time to come clean with you and let you know how I've been lying to you and to everyone. You see, I have this job at Verizon, and I do good work, and lots of it. And this year, I launched a coaching business that's outside of here. I help people get their businesses started, and I've run my own web design company for about 6 years. I've got a great wife. I've got 3 little kids. You've heard about them a couple of times. And all of these things point to me being a responsible, active member of the community, right? Hardworking and all that. And it's all a cover-up. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a gamer. I love video games. If I had all the money in the world, I would play video games 40 hours a week. Probably for a few weeks anyway, right? It's just a great way to blow off steam. And, you know, to have some fun, to make life not all about work, right? And you need that, right? You need to have some relaxed time, right? Okay. So let me tell you where it started. When I was 17-ish. Now, I'm a little bit older than some, except for Jim. And we didn't all have computers when we were little kids. Computers came on desktops when I was in my teens. And a girlfriend that I had a little computer. And I went to her house, and I liked her. She was fine. But she had this computer, and there were little Dungeons and Dragons games you could play, where you could be like a little X and walk around and kill things that were an S. That stood for snake. And you could kill a D. That stood for dragon. Completely ridiculous, right? But she'd call me, hey, you got time? You want to come over? I'd be like, yeah, I'll level up. Yeah, okay, so I was 17 or so, and it led me to actually being a computer guy, because I learned that you had to finagle games, you had to write your own little command line stuff, and I had to make boot disks, and that was my first stuff that got me into computers. It was my gateway drug. So now I have little kids. My dad bought my son an Xbox when he was 4. And I didn't give it to him, really. Like, we had it, but we didn't do anything with it. He didn't start playing any games until he was 5 and a half. But since he plays games, my middle child started playing games when he was under 4. My little child is 2. He loves to hold the controller. It doesn't have to be plugged in. Like, you don't have to tell him. The other ones are playing. He's holding his controller. He's doing stuff. He'll fight and grab the little Nintendo DSi out of his brother's hands, because he wants to push the buttons in here, go, you know what I have. So I'm concerned, because I got in it late and I'm addicted. They're getting it, before they learn to read. So there's that. And I tell them, listen, you can't play games all the time. It'll rot your brain. Find other things to do. Be creative. Draw a picture. Go outside. And all the time, in my head, it's like, as soon as you go to bed, pew, 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 I'm going to go kill some. So that's my thing. I don't want everybody to know that, so it's a little embarrassing for me to share this with you now, okay? And there's an ugly downside to this gaming thing. There is actual addiction. People get addicted to playing these games. I have a friend who got divorced from his wife. Not wholly because of games, but if you play Warcraft 30 to 40 hours every week, it might have an impact on your marriage. They didn't go into court saying, he plays Warcraft, so I'm leaving him. But I think it had a bit of it. And I've had a couple other friends I have a friend who lost a job, maybe somewhat due to that, right? Playing too much, staying up too late, getting into work late, being all shabby. I had a friend who failed in his junior year of college because we would go to sleep. We have a loft, and he'd stay downstairs with our computer. And I'd wake up in the morning, and he'd still be there. Hey, Jim, you have to go to class. Okay. So there's a really ugly downside to it, and I think I'm above it for now, right? I still have my wife, I have my kids. I go outside and play with them sometimes, right? I come to Toastmasters. I could not do Toastmasters on my lunch hour. I could be up there playing some, stupid little Facebook game, which isn't even really a game. It's just click, click, click until you're out of points, and you get nothing. And then you go back the next day, click, click, click until you're out of points. So there's Farmville and Yoville, and what about Lifeville, right? How about get outside? How about interact with people a little bit? So people who do that too much, like, it's something to worry about. But did anyone ever see the movie The Last Starfighter? Yeah? Nobody? Only us old guys? Great movie about a kid who plays a video game console, and he's the best in the world. And what happens is, it turns out it's a recruitment tool for these aliens. He's learned how to kill aliens. He's the best in the Earth, so they get him to go be a starfighter, to kill real aliens. They get in the ship, and it's just like the video game. See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm practicing for when, and now I don't think it's really aliens, but I mean when the government calls me and says, they put out the call, we need guys to play war. I'm great at war. I've been playing war for 10 years. Okay, now, here's the thing. Yes, I want to change the world, right? I want to be a speaker. I want to stand up in front of people, motivate them, and make them change their lives. But first, I'm going to get to be 50th level, right? And I want to spend more quality time with my wife. I don't get a lot of time. We get the kids around all the time. And like, to go see a movie, to get a babysitter for 3 kids to go see a movie, it cost me $100 to go see a movie. That better be a really good movie, right? But when I get some good quality time, if I go kill the boss, I might get some really cool armor. Okay? I want to show you something real quick. This actually inspired me to do this speech. And it has a curse word in it or so don't be offended, please. Have a look, pass that around. It made me giggle, and it made me say, I'm going to go and be honest with these people, because that is talking to me. So I'm making light of this, right? I really do get my work done, and I see my family. But you got to have some relaxation time. You need to get out, away from work, right? And have a nice cup of tea. Some people like to meditate. I like to kill bad guys. That's my thing, right? But whatever you do, take some time off. Schedule it in. Because if you don't schedule your time off, you will never get your time off, okay? So put it in first, maybe. Put in relaxation time first, so that you can have some reserves and be ready to work hard later. So go get your calendar and put in some free time and play Warcraft. Thank you.